Have you ever noticed how some people respond to questions almost instantly, as if the answer simply appears in their mind the moment they hear the words? But for others, something very different happens. A simple question is asked, a moment of silence appears, and instead of responding immediately, their mind seems to pause. From the outside, it might look like hesitation. Sometimes it even looks like uncertainty. But inside their mind, something much more complex is happening. Before any words leave their mouth, their thoughts begin moving through multiple layers of reflection. They consider the meaning behind the question. They think about the possible interpretations of their answer. They evaluate how their response might be understood. And by the time they are ready to speak, the conversation has already moved forward. This moment, this small gap between hearing something and responding, reveals a fascinating pattern in the psychology of certain minds. For many people, conversation works like a natural reflex. Words appear, reactions follow, and the exchange moves quickly from one idea to the next. But for individuals who tend to think deeply, the process unfolds differently. Instead of reacting immediately, their mind begins to analyze the situation almost automatically. What exactly is being asked? Is there a deeper meaning behind the question? What is the most accurate way to respond? Their brain starts scanning possibilities, not out of anxiety, but out of a natural tendency to process information thoroughly. It's similar to the difference between someone quickly glancing at a map and someone carefully studying the entire route before taking the first step. Both approaches reach a destination, but one involves a deeper level of cognitive exploration. This pattern often develops in people who have a strong awareness of how words can shape situations. Over time, they learn that responses carry consequences. A sentence said too quickly can be misunderstood. A careless reaction can create tension that did not need to exist. Because of this, their mind develops a habit of pausing before speaking. They mentally test different versions of what they might say, adjusting tone and wording before letting the thought become a sentence. To an outside observer, this pause may seem unnecessary, but internally it is a process of refining communication. Their mind is not searching for something to say, it is searching for the most precise way to say it. Another factor influencing this pattern is the way certain minds process social signals during conversation. While listening, they are not only hearing the words being spoken, they are also observing subtle cues, changes in tone, facial expressions, shifts in energy. Each of these signals becomes another layer of information for the brain to interpret. When it comes time to respond, the mind tries to integrate all of these details into a single reply.
The result is a response that feels more considered, more thoughtful, but also slower to appear. It is not hesitation. It is a deeper level of cognitive processing happening in real time. Interestingly, people who think carefully before responding often value accuracy more than speed. In many social environments, fast responses are rewarded. Quick wit, rapid reactions, immediate answers, these qualities are often associated with confidence. But thoughtful minds tend to prioritize clarity instead. They would rather pause for a moment and respond with something meaningful than speak quickly and risk saying something incomplete or misunderstood. This internal standard creates a natural delay in conversation. While others are comfortable improvising their thoughts out loud, these individuals prefer to organize their thinking before turning it into speech. There is also a psychological dimension connected to self-awareness. People who think deeply before responding often possess a strong internal dialogue. Their mind is constantly reflecting on ideas, evaluating perspectives, and questioning assumptions. Because they are used to examining their own thoughts, they extend the same careful attention to their conversations. Instead of treating dialogue as a rapid exchange of words, they see it as a process of communicating ideas accurately. Every sentence becomes a small act of translation, turning a complex internal thought into something that another person can understand. Of course, this habit can sometimes create challenges in fast-moving conversations. In environments where people interrupt each other, jump quickly between topics, or expect instant reactions, thoughtful individuals may appear quieter than they truly are. Their ideas are not absent. They simply arrive after the moment of reflection that their mind naturally requires. But when conversations allow space for deeper thinking, something remarkable becomes visible. Their responses often carry a level of insight that goes beyond the surface of the discussion, because while others react quickly, they have already examined the idea from several angles before speaking. In the end, thinking deeply before responding is not a flaw in communication. It is simply a different rhythm of thought. Some minds move quickly through ideas, expressing them as they appear. Others move more carefully, exploring possibilities before turning them into words. Both approaches shape the way conversations unfold. But the second type reveals something interesting about the human mind. Sometimes the silence before a response is not emptiness at all. It is the quiet space where thought becomes understanding. And when that understanding finally turns into words, it often carries a depth that could never appear in a rushed reply.